Alrighty, we're gonna get started on our mats in child's pose today. Welcome everybody. Hello Cordelia. I'm gonna do a short reading from this little book called The Unexpected Power of Mindfulness and Meditation. So make your way onto your mat. Find your child's pose. Bring your knees wide as is comfortable. Send your hips back towards the heels. Wiggle your hips side to side a little bit until they feel like they're nice and settled. Reach your fingers long and let the forehead come to the mat. And begin that grounding sensation, connecting with your mat, connecting with the earth. Dedicating 60 minutes to yourself. Releasing anything else, tension in the mind, tension in the body. You get to let it go. We'll meet on our mats. So, something that's been coming up a lot for me, I've noticed, is that probably not for this group of people, but maybe some people that you know, they're afraid of meditation. They don't know what meditation is. Just the word itself, they think, I'm not interested, I can't do that, that's not for me. So this little reading got me thinking. It says, meditation is the fabric of my life rather than something that I do. It's the awareness of breath, of sensation, and the intention to leave a trail of beauty behind me. When I go to the grocery store, how can I leave a trail of beauty behind me? When I'm working with a client, how can I do that? It's taking meditation into life so that everywhere we go, we leave a trail of beauty. And so it just points out that meditation can really be anything you make it to be. It doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged on your mat, but it can be in every moment, in every breath, everywhere you go, everyone you talk to. All right, let's gently take those hands over to the right. Stay down in child's pose. We'll breathe into the left side of that body. Let the forehead rest so it can stay down on the mat. Breathing through the left pinky all the way down to the left hip. Gently walk the hands through center. Take them to the other side. Child's pose with the side body stretch, reaching through the right fingertips this time. Opening up the outside of the shoulder, breathing into the rib cage, sinking down to that left or that right hip bone. We'll begin that Ujjayi breathing in and out of the nose. And then walk those hands back to center. Push up onto your shins right now. So bring the inner thighs together, sitting on the shins. So right now with the pressure on our feet are flat, it kind of feels like we're opening up the tops of our feet and the quads at the same time. We'll take a little shoulder or wrist stretch. So let's press the back of our wrists together. Keep toe in the spine, keep core engaged. And then if you want to open up your feet, we can come up onto the toes, send some weight onto the heels to open up the tops of the feet. Maybe rock the hips side to side a little. If that doesn't feel good on opening the balls of the feet, stay flat-footed. And then we'll go back down to our shins. Let's take these hands behind us on the mat, fingers facing forward. And on an inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Feel the front of your shoulders open. Let your head drop back, opening the throat, pressing up from the chest. And we'll release out of that. Come over the knees, we'll meet in tabletop. Strong stacked position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. When we get here, we move into cat-cow, warming up that spine. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze goes up. Exhale, arch the spine, let the head hang heavy. So moving through these two poses at your own pace. Your cat-cow, maybe even closing the eyes here, just feeling the body, feeling the spine. You can exaggerate the movement by bending at the elbows as you transition. This is a great beginning pose to tune in with your breath. So let the inhale begin and then you move up to cow. Let the exhale begin and then you move to scared cat. We'll try and move with our breath throughout practice. One thing I want to say is that you might find that your pace is a little bit different than mine, which is totally fine. If you're not inhaling when I say inhale and exhaling when I say exhale, that's okay. You'll find your own pace. You'll move with your own breath with practice. Bring those hands a little bit farther in front of where they are right now. We'll take wide hip circles. So feel supported through the wrists. And then begin to take the hips in circles, going both directions. Breathe into the side of those hips, the side of your belly, the rib cage. Still using your breath. All right, we'll meet back in that stacked position. Bring your wrists under the shoulders, knees stay under the hips. We'll warm up the core a little bit here, so pull your belly button up and in. Low ribs pull up and in as well. We'll reach the left heel back, right hand forward. Make sure those low ribs don't pop out. They usually want to push towards the mat, but we're strong in our core here. This is our inhale position. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath you. Exhale, and then inhale for length. Take these at your own pace as well. Exhale to crunch, knee to elbow. Pull that knee as high as you can to the chest. Inhale to find length, long through the heel and the top of the head. Couple more. We're balancing opposing forces. Left hand down, right knee down. All right, and then the last one, let your right hand drop to the mat. Keep that left leg long. Drop the left foot all the way over to the right. Gaze over your right shoulder. Try and find that foot for a side body stretch from the left heel through the hip, through the rib cage, up to that neck. The farther you look over your shoulder, the more of a neck stretch you'll get here. And then release back to center, tabletop position. Same two things, other side. So we'll start, right heel goes back and left hand goes forward. Find that balance. If you need to readjust where your left or your right hand is, that's okay. Nice strong balance, and then core work. Exhale, knee to elbow. Pull that knee as high as you can to the chest, arching the spine. Strong inhale finds length. Exhale, crunch. Take these at your own pace. We're warming up the core. We're testing our balance. So sometimes how your balance is in this pose can kind of set a precedent for just where you're at today, what kind of balance you'll be finding in the rest of class. Every day is a little different. All right, last one with the left hand drop, and then right foot stays straight. Reach that foot all the way over to the left side. Maybe it goes off the mat. Gaze over the left shoulder. Try and find that foot. Feel the stretch from the neck to the heel. Still using Ujjayi breath, so lips are closed. Breathing in and out of the nose, down the back of the throat. All right, we bring right knee back to left, tabletop position. We're gonna tuck both toes. And on an exhale, send your hips to the sky, first down dog of class. So send those hips high, and then send the hips back. Settling those heels down to the earth. Press your knuckles into the mat. Make your fingers wide. Curl those armpits in to face each other a little bit. Gaze back between the legs. We'll be here for 5 more breaths, so pedal out the feet or walk the dog, however you need to move your body for that first down dog of class. Heels don't have to be touching the mat, but they're energetically reaching towards the mat. And then gazes back between the ankles or inner thighs, or maybe even looking up at that belly button. All right, we're gonna take baby steps to the top of the mat. So try to keep your hips as high as you can as you inch forward. Keeping the hips high, high, high uses the core. And then when you get there, let the feet land hips width distance, ragdoll pose. Belly hangs out on the thighs. You grab your elbows and sway side to side like a ragdoll. So it's more of a low back neck release here than a back of the legs stretch. So if you feel like your hamstrings are getting more out of this than your back, bend into the knees. You can shake out the head yes, and we can shake out the head no. Ending on a yes. And we'll slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time from ragdoll pose. Come all the way to standing. Let the head be the last thing to come up. 1 vertebrae at a time, and then we'll take a couple shoulder rolls here, pulling the shoulders up to the ears, and then letting them fall back down. Just notice the difference from when your shoulders are up, and then when they're relaxed down your spine. Up, and then relax down the spine. All right, we're gonna move into a little bouncing pose already. So we're gonna do tree pose. But before that, we'll do a little side bend. So bring your feet together, big toes to touch, your heels can be slightly separate. And then we'll inhale, sweep the hands overhead. Your right hand is gonna grab your left wrist. Inhale to find length, and then exhale, fold to the right. So bring your hands over to the right, push your hips to the left. Side body stretch. Keep pressing the hips forward and over to the left, keep falling. And inhale back to center, nice job. Switch the grip of the hands. A nice inhale finds length in the spine, strong legs. Exhale, fall to the left this time. Pull that right wrist over and over. Keep reaching the hips to the right. And inhale back to center, nice job. So that pose is gonna move into tree pose. We'll start with left foot grounded. The right foot's gonna come to a kickstand, and then right foot's gonna move up to the inner thigh of the left leg. Press that thigh into the foot and your foot equally as hard into the thigh so you're nice and balanced. You can use your hands to get that foot up there, and then when you're ready to free the hands, we'll take them out heart center. Really making sure we have that grounding through the left foot before we bring the hands overhead. So bring the hands up to the sky with an inhale, and then exhale, bend to the right. So bending to the same direction that that knee is pointing. Side body stretch with tree legs. Great job. Keep falling over to the right. Nice job. Back to center. Before we switch sides, we'll come to a standing figure 4. Take right ankle, left knee. I'm gonna turn this way. So right ankle, left knee. And then you're gonna bend at the left knee and lower the hips a little bit like you're trying to find a chair behind you. The stretch is in that right glute. So I like to press my right knee away from me a little bit with my right fist or palm. And then keep bending, lowering the hips to really feel that glute stretch. Still balancing on that left foot, building strength in those little ankle muscles. All right, nice job. We'll lift back to center, readjust yourself, setting up for same couple poses, other side. This time we ground through the right foot. So you can think about opening its chakra, the foot chakra, grounding through the earth, to the earth. Kickstand left toes, bring the left foot up the leg. Use your hand to grip it and let it land wherever is most comfortable. So calf or inner thigh, just avoiding that knee. Finding your tree pose. Hands will start at heart center. When you find your balance, make sure you're grounded through that right ankle and then lift the hands up to the sky. With that inhale, we find length and then exhale, fold to the left, same way that knee is going. Side body stretch, keep bending, breathe to that right side. All right, nice job. Back to center, ankle, left ankle meets right knee. Same pose we just did on the other side, standing figure 4. So bend into the right knee, shoot those hips back like you're trying to find a chair to sit in. Breathe into that right or the left glute. Again, maybe you take that left palm and push it into that knee. Getting it farther away from the body gets more of a stretch in the glute and then up the thigh as well. All right, nice job. Stand up and release the legs. We'll take a little bit of a back bend here. So bring your feet about wider than hips width distance, toes out at an angle like 45 degrees. You'll press your fists or the back of the palms into your low back and begin to lean backwards, opening that throat again, pulling up with the chest, forward with the hips, back bend. Slowly inhale back to center, bring those hips back to, or the feet back under the hips, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose, hold plank. We're gonna go to 8-point pose. So from plank, we're gonna count 8 points of our body touching the mat. So right and left foot are 1 and 2, right and left hands are 3 and 4. We'll drop both knees for 5, 6. And then from here, your chest and your chin are points 7 and 8. So you're gonna have a natural arch in your spine, lower that chest and chin to the mat, 8-point pose, let the hips stay high. And then walk the legs back down the mat. Let the legs go long. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. I like to kick a little bit. And then we'll inhale, cobra pose. Use the strength of the low back, not the grip on the mat for this first one. Reach up with the chest, cobra pose. And then return chin to mat. We're gonna take a breather. We're gonna do 2 more back bends. So that was the first cobra. We try to keep our hands off the mat, just use the strength of the low back. Come back to center if you're not already there with the chest. We'll inhale to our second cobra. This time, do press your hands into the mat. Maybe you come all the way forward with your forearms to more of a sphinx pose. And then grip your hands or forearms onto the mat to pull you forward and lift you up. Find that nice curve in the spine. Gaze is forward and lifted. Press the thighs into the mat. Keep lifting the chest. And release. We'll do 1 more. After this, it will be the deepest back bend that you feel comfortable with today or right now. So you might be returning to that forearm cobra pose. Or maybe something deeper. So come back to center. Next, inhale, push all the way up. So this is the deepest back bend. Maybe you press your hands into the mat, lifting those forearms. Walk your hands towards the body to get a deeper arch. Pull up with the chest, shoulders out of the ears. Stay down on the forearms if coming up to the hands is too much. Nice job. Release all the way back to a counter pose, child's pose. Real nice and slow, just a quick child's pose. Big toes to touch, let those hips go down to the heels. Feel that nice little counter stretch, especially in the low back. All right, we make our way through tabletop up to down dog. Let your exhale send those hips high to the sky. Couple breaths here if you need to pedal out the feet a little more, maybe walk the dog a little longer. I'll tell you when we're gonna meet in a neutral down dog, setting up for our first little flow. So let that gaze be back. We'll find a nice, neutral, still down dog. We'll bring the left foot in about an inch closer to the center line of the mat for stability, and inhale, right leg high to the sky. Keep those hips square to the floor. Exhale, right elbow, right knee. Give it a little tap, and then inhale that leg long behind you. Second exhale, knee to chest. Pull it as high as you can into the chest, and then inhale that leg behind you. Third exhale, across the body to the left elbow. Give it a little tap if you can, and then inhale that leg long behind you. Fourth one, we're going back across the body. So exhale, go all the way to five-pointed star or fallen triangle. Press the outside of the right foot into the mat. Press your left foot into the mat. Left hand goes high to the sky. You're balancing on that right hand. Keep pressing the hips up. And then return to down dog, pressing left hand into mat, right foot goes back to meet the left. And then inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot this time, come up high lunge. Deep bend in the front knee. Sweep the hands forward. We'll pull this hip, right hip back into its socket. Keep those two hip bones square to the front of the room. And then we're gonna come out of this a little bit. So straighten that front leg a little bit. Imagine you have a tailbone on your, well, we have a tailbone. So imagine you have a tailbone or a tail on your tailbone. Tuck that down towards the earth, pulling your low pelvis forward, and then settle back into that low or that high lunge. When we exhale, prayer hands twist to the right. Bring your hands together, bring your left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Straighten into that back leg. Press your palms together to get a spinal twist here. Belly button pulls in, allowing you room to twist. Gaze goes up to the right. Keep pressing those palms together. All right, from here, open those arms wide. So we're still in this position, but left hand down, right hand up. And then we're gonna lift the chest and our arms stay long, but our chest is turned to the right. So we're turning our chest towards that right thigh. Arms are long. And then inhale, reverse high lunge. So right hand down, left hand up to the sky. Really feel that left side body opening, that hip flexor. And then exhale, easy twist. Left hand lands on the inside of the right foot. Right hand goes high to the sky. All right, gaze down at that left wrist. Make sure it's under the shoulder or a little bit in front. You'll roll to the outer edge of the left foot, side plank. Right foot stacks on top of left. Maybe you drop the bottom knee, or maybe you take top leg into tree pose legs here. Bending that right knee, pressing the foot into the inner thigh of the left leg. All right, return right hand to mat. Exhale through your first chaturanga or down to the belly. Inhale for your first up dog or cobra pose. Exhale, we meet in down dog. So the key there is if you lower onto your belly, you'll want to go to cobra, not up dog. And then if you lower to chaturanga, you go to up dog, not cobra. All right, same thing, other side. Well, find some stability, bring that right foot in about an inch. Closer to the center line of the mat. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Give it that tap, use the core. Inhale, the leg long behind you. Second exhale, knee comes to chest. Pull it as high as you can, use that core. Inhale, the leg behind you. Third exhale, all the way to the right. Elbow, crossing the body with that knee. Inhale, the leg behind you. Perfect. All right, fourth exhale, you know where we're going. That left knee is gonna go across the body over to the right. Straighten into that the left leg. Right hand reaches to the sky. So you're on the outer edge of the left foot, and then your whole bottom of your right foot is planted on the mat. Really balancing through that left wrist. Keep pressing the hips high. Nice job. Let the right hand come down, meet back in down dog. Building a lot of heat here. So, ready for the second side. Inhale, left leg goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot between the hands, sweep the hands forward, high lunge. Couple readjustments to find that high lunge. We'll pull the hip back into the socket. Make sure you can see that big toe on left foot, track that knee out. And then to feel that hip flexor a little more, we'll straighten into the front leg, tuck that tailbone down, and then settle back in. You should feel a big stretch on that hip flexor when we do that. Exhale, prayer hands, twist to the left, bring those palms together, let the outside of the right elbow meet the outside of the left knee. Press those palms together, straighten into the back leg, and gaze goes up to the left. Keep pressing the palms together, trying to get the thumbs to the center line of your chest, building tons of strength here and heat, and then we open those arms. Left hand up, right hand down to the floor, and then from here, raise the chest. So we're still in high lunge legs, but our arms are long. Next inhale, reverse, so left hand down, right hand up. Feel that deep opening in that right side body, hip flexor going up the rib cage. Keep reaching back with that right hand. Exhale, easy twists, right hand on the inside of the left foot. Left hand goes high to the sky. All right, take a look at that right wrist. Make sure you're under your shoulder or a little bit in front, and then come to side plank. Yogi's choice to drop the bottom knee or take a tree pose. Legs strong here, almost done. All right, left hand goes to the mat. Take it through your second vinyasa. Meet me in down dog. So you would exhale, chaturanga, or onto your bellies. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Always option to skip and just meet us in down dog as well. All right, let's stretch it out a little bit. Let's bring that right foot to the outside of the right pinky. Drop that back knee. Setting up for lizard pose. So roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Let the top of the back foot lie on the mat. If there's any pressure on that left knee, maybe put in a blanket. So this is your lizard pose. We're gonna hold this one for at least a minute. So one thing I like to do is press that knee away from me. And then maybe lower down to one forearm or both. Yogi's choice, wherever you feel comfortable. The stretch should be all over that groin area. You're getting into the psoas, the hip flexor, your groin, the hips, everything. So you're not only releasing tension out of the hips, notice maybe somewhere else you're holding tension. Maybe the jaw, the eye space, the shoulders. Try to relax into it. You'll get more out of that stretch. All right, bring those hands back under your chest. Lift yourself up, and then you'll lift your left knee off the mat. Shoot your right foot back to meet the left. Take down dog as a transition. We're gonna take lizard pose other side. So bringing that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Maybe it lands off the mat. Drop the right knee. Make sure there's no pressure in that knee or either knee. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. And then if anything, I'll end up turning my chest to face whatever knee we just are bending. So right now I'll turn my chest a little bit more to the left and press that knee away from me. Lowering down to one forearm or both. Last couple breaths, still trying to release tension, especially in these longer static holds. These are the kind of poses that you really feel a difference afterwards in regards to tightness. All right, nice job. Press those hands back into the mat to lift the chest. Lift right knee off mat. Shoot your left foot back to meet the right in down dog. When you get there, we'll bend the knees, look out the space between the hands on the bottom of your next exhale. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. When you get there, inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine, keep that belly button pulled up and in. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, straight spine, hand comes overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center, down by the side. All right, we're gonna bring the toes together. There's one pose I wanted to play with today. So we're gonna move into chair pose. So bring those big toes together, heels slightly separated. Bend the knees, send the hips back, chair pose, sweep those hands forward. And we'll work on foundation for a second. So make sure you can see your big toes. So pull your knees back, pull your low ribs up and in, shoulders out of the ears, and then hands reaching forward, gazes up, and then sink those hips a little lower. All right, exhale, prayer hands, twist to the right. Chair pose, twisting to the right. Don't let that left knee go out in front of the right knee. Keep the knees glued together. And then from chair pose with prayer hands, we're gonna open those arms. So similar to something you saw a little bit ago. Keep pressing the outside of the left elbow into the outside of that right knee. Getting that spinal twist. And then what I wanted to play with today is we're gonna grab the outside of the right foot with the left hand. Outside of the right foot with that left hand, keep the right arm long. You're gonna ground into the left foot and very slowly come up with that right foot and that left hand. So there's a lot going on here. You can straighten into that right leg or just keep that knee at chest. But trying to straighten into that right leg, and then you're twisting. So your gaze is over to the right. Maybe even looking back at that right hand. Yep, when you fall out of it, come back in, that's okay. It's a hard pose. Keep grounding through the bottom of the left foot. Strong left ankle. Kneecap pulls into quad. Nice. Nice job. Okay, slowly lower back down. Slowly lowering right foot down to left. And then we'll meet back in chair pose. So we're just gonna do this one more time on the other side. Sink those hips low, low ribs pulled in. And then exhale, prayer hands, twist to the left this time. Outside of the right elbow, outside of the left knee. Make sure that right knee doesn't pop forward. Keep the knees glued. Press into the palms so you have a nice spinal twist, and then you'll open the arms. So stay here, or lift up the outer edge of that left foot, grab it with your right hand, really ground through the right foot before you even try to lift off the ground. Coming all the way to standing with that left knee. Left hand stays straight. Slowly straighten into the left leg if you can. Gaze goes over to the left. Maybe even the gaze goes back towards that left hand. Keep pulling your foot over to the right. So we're super twisted here. Strong right leg. Squeeze the glutes together. Squeeze your core in. All right, super slow. We come back down. Nice job. We'll meet in chair pose. Once you're in chair pose, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward, fingertips to the floor or the shins. Exhale, plant the hands, take it through Vinyasa or meet me in down dog. Option to skip Vinyasa. All right, let's lower onto the knees, get a little shoulder stretch, puppy pose here. So keep those hips high, stacked over the knees. Walk the hands forward. Let the forehead come down to the mat or a block or a blanket. And then you're gonna breathe into the front of the shoulders for puppy pose. So big opening in the front of the arms. You'll feel it up the arms. You'll feel it maybe in the shoulder area. Some people who are super bendy in that arm space might want to elevate their hands. So if you had like 2 blocks, you would place one hand on each block. We want the sensation to be through the front of the shoulders. Puppy pose. All right. Bring those hands back in. Slowly make your way back to down dog. One more standing sequence before we really cool down. Stretch it out on our mats. So send those hips high to the sky and backwards, down dog. Long through the legs. Send those heels to the mat. Left toe goes in an inch towards the center line for balance. Inhale, right leg goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest. We're gonna plant the foot and open up warrior 2 this time. So cartwheel your left hand forward and then all the way backwards. And then right hand lifts towards the front of your mat. Gaze over your middle finger on the left hand. Feet are heel to heel alignment, so they're in the same line on your mat. Bring that right knee out to the right. Make sure you can see that big toe. Your hips feel like they're pulling apart, but then you're pulling up from your pelvic area, up from your belly. Mula and Uddiyana bandhas engaged. So it's that feeling like you're holding from going to the bathroom, squeezing your core in, making you feel lighter on the feet. Exhale, extended side angle, left or right elbow, right kneecap, left hand reaches up and over. Your one long line from the heel to those fingers. Maybe you take a bind here, yogi's choice to open the shoulders. Keep those strong warrior two legs. Deep bend in the front knee. All right, we move back to reverse warrior. Very slow, use that core, left hand down, right hand up. Now the right hand's reaching towards the back of the room. Don't lose that deep bend in the front knee. And then we come back to center with the hands. We're gonna straighten into the front leg. We're gonna walk our feet a little bit closer together. Keep those front toes facing forward, back toes out at an angle. But your back toes might be facing a little bit farther forward. We're setting up for triangle pose here. So triangle pose, straight legs. You're gonna reach your right fingertips forward, forward, forward till they can't anymore. Revolve right hand down, left hand up. Maybe you have a block under the right hand, or maybe the right hand comes to the shin or the floor, or maybe today you don't even need that right hand. Your right hand lifts like you're holding a beach ball. All right, from here, we're gonna go all the way to half moon. So right hand lands in front of the right foot, left foot kicks back, left hand stays exactly where it was for triangle pose. So left hand stays reaching towards the ceiling. Great pose to have a block. Under that right hand still. Both legs are straight, grounding through that right foot. Nice job. Slowly bend into the front knee. Let that back foot fall really far back on the mat. Hands come to the mat, strong through the shoulders. Take it through your vinyasa or meet me in down dog. Let every breath be very intentional. As we're coming to the end of our practice, you're more in tune with the body. You know it's already put in work. We only have one side left. So try to give it all you got for these next couple poses. We'll move that right foot to the center of the mat. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot between the hands, cartwheel right hand forward, and then all the way to the back of the room. Warrior two. Heel to heel alignment. So not everybody's mats have lines, but if they did, your heels would be on the same line. Relax the shoulders down the back. Left knee tracks out. Make sure you can see that big toe. Nice job settling in. Next, exhale, extended side angle, left elbow, left knee. Right hand reaches up and over, or yogi's choice today for that bind. Wiggling the left shoulder under left knee. Keep feeling like you're spreading those hips open, so warrior two legs never really leave us. Strong in those legs. Next, inhale, reverse warrior, go slow. Right hand will go down right leg, left hand will go up to the sky and then reaches towards the back of the room. Opening up that rib cage, beautiful. Feel the stretch, feel the legs working. All right, when we bring the hands back to center, we straighten into the front leg, setting up for triangle pose. Much shorter stance for that triangle pose. Heel to heel alignment still. Back toes facing out at an angle. Reach forward, forward, forward with the left hands until you can't anymore. Revolve the hands. Left hand down, right hand up. You stay here, or you can lift the left hand off the shin like you're holding a beach ball. All right, and last standing pose, half moon. Left hand lands in front of left toes. Left heel kicks towards the back of the room. Right hand goes high to the sky. Pull that core in like you're trying to lean up against a wall. So your back and your legs would be touching a wall behind you. You want to be that flat. Nice job, very slowly. Let the right foot go as far back on the mat as you can. Drop both hands. Take it through your very last vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. From down dog, drop to the knees, and we'll meet in a seated position. We'll do some sitting leg stretches. Find those sit bones. Let's start with butterfly pose. So bring your insides of the feet to touch. Heels can be close to the body for more hips, farther away from the body for more low back. Play around with it. Inhale to find length in the spine. Hinge at the hips. Exhale, forward fold. So you keep that straight spine as long as you can. When it feels like it needs to arch to go any farther, that's fine. Let the head rest towards the feet. But do try to keep that straight spine for as long as you can, hinging forward. Maybe some open mouth exhales here if you feel like you have a bunch of internal heat, which I do because it's 80-something degrees outside. You can give yourself a little foot massage here, pressing into the insides of those arches. Feel like you're opening a book. All right, lift up out of butterfly pose. We're gonna take left heel in towards body and right leg out straight in front of us. We're gonna fold over the right leg. So same thing, we inhale to lengthen. Exhale, hinge at those hips and let yourself fall over that right leg. One thing I will say about this pose is depending on the shape of your hips, it might not feel good to have left heel in towards body. Some people will take an external rotation, putting your left foot out, and then folding over right leg. Same stretch, just depends on the shape of the hips, whether they prefer internal or external rotation of the left leg. If you can, grab onto that foot, use it to pull yourself closer, flex those right toes towards the face. Your belly button is still pulling up and in. And slowly lift that chest up. We're gonna take this right leg out to the right a little bit farther. Right leg stays straight. Now, if you did that external rotation like I did, bring your left heel back into your body. And then we're gonna get into this low back left side. Start with that right forearm going forward. Sweep the right forearm over to right shin. Open your chest. Inhale, left hand reaches high to the sky, reaching for those right toes. TDQ stretch. Getting those really hard to get muscles in that low back. Let every exhale get you a little deeper. Let gravity help your hand reach for those right toes. Feeling it in the leg as well. Big stretch. Last couple breaths, really get into that low back. And then we'll let this chest come through center and push the hands back up. We'll switch those two legs. Same two things, other side. So start with the left leg straight out in front of you. And then take either right heel into that groin area, or take external rotation, which my hips prefer. Maybe try both and just check it out. Wherever you're at, inhale to find length in the spine. Exhale, fold over the left leg. Feel the entirety of that left leg stretching, going down to the calf. So if you can reach towards the feet, try and pull those toes back towards the face. Let the forehead come to the shin. All right, pushing those hands back towards the body to lift the chest. We take our TDQ stretch other side. Let that leg go, left leg go out about 45 degrees. Make sure that right heel is in towards your body right now for this stretch. Left forearm goes down to the floor and then sweeps over to the shin. Inhale, open the chest. Right hand reaches up and over like you're a rainbow with an arch from that right hip all the way till the connection of those right fingers with the left toes. Big arch. Breathe into that low back on the right side. Keep reaching for those toes, trying to wiggle your chest to be facing the side. So for me, that means I have to get my left shoulder, that bottom shoulder, a little bit farther forward, kind of in front of the knee. All right, nice job. Come back to center and we'll make our way onto our backs, finishing up class today. So you can grab the back of the thighs, roll onto the back slowly, slow and controlled. When you get there, hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug, rock side to side with it, grabbing your forearms around the shins, pulling those knees as close to the chest as you can. And then we'll take this into a happy baby. So grab the outsides or the insides of the feet. Pull those knees, so you're using the strength of your arms here to pull those knees towards the mat. You can continue the rocking side to side motion. You don't have to, of course. Just want to share all the options. Tuck your chin down toward the chest a little bit to be nice and long in the spine. That's the greatest benefit of this pose, I think, is finding that really long spine. Keep the hips down. All right, and then we'll bring the knees to the center or back to chest, and then we'll take supine twist. So let the knees drop to the right. Bring the hips back towards the center line of the mat so that your left hip stacks directly on top of right. Cactus your left arm and let your gaze go left. I like to wrap my top leg around the bottom leg. So left foot would wrap around like the right knee area. And then take your right hand, place it on that left thigh and pulling the leg down. All right, wiggle those knees back to center. We'll move to supine twist other side, but before you do, find a moment of stillness and symmetry. So finding length in the spine, bring those knees to the chest. And then when you're ready, letting them fall to the left. This time, wiggling those hips back to the center line again. Or wrap right leg around left leg. Cactus your right arm. Wiggle the shoulder blades up the mat, and then gaze goes to the right. Try to keep that right shoulder from lifting off the mat. A left hand on top of right thigh to keep pulling it down over to the left. All right, coming back to center, and at this time, taking any last poses that are in your practice today. Anything you need to stretch out, listen to your body before we meet in Shavasana. A little bit of a higher movement practice today. I never have too much planned when I show up to teach yoga, just some basics. And today was a lot of movement. So any last stretches that your body needs. We'll meet in Shavasana. Let those legs go long. Toes roll out to the sides. Be really nice and tall on the spine or on the back. So maybe you wiggle those shoulder blades up the mat a little bit more. And then let your hands go down to the side, or left hand on heart, right hand on belly. Remembering that meditation is whatever you make it out to be. And Shavasana is a perfect place to practice. So for the next few minutes, dedicating this time to yourself and yourself only. Trying to still the mind and be present in that heart space. Welcome to Shavasana. Invite some movement back into the body by first wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rocking the head side to side, maybe feeling like you're waking up a little bit, some energy from the fingertips and the toes, up the limbs, breathing life back into the belly, back into the heart space. Maybe letting it flow out of the crown if you have excess energy. And then roll onto your favorite side using an arm as a pillow. Right side for grounding, left side for energizing, getting that blood down to the heart. And I'm going to read this short little meditation thing one more time because I just loved it. Meditation is the fabric of my life rather than something I do. It's the awareness of breath, of sensation, and the intention to leave a trail of beauty behind me. When I go to the grocery store, how can I leave a trail of beauty behind me? When I'm working with a client, how can I do that? It's taking meditation into life so that everywhere we go, we leave a trail of beauty. Judith and Sarah. Push yourself up into a comfortable seated position facing the camera here. We'll meet sitting cross-legged. Your hands can be palm face up on the knees. Tall through the spine. Last inhale together, bring those hands overhead, fingertips to touch. Exhale the thumbs down to your forehead, that third eye center. Thank you for joining me today. My hope is that you take yoga off the mat with you into the other 23 hours of the day, even into the grocery store if you have to go there. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. So lovely to see you. It really makes me so excited that everyone still gets together, even though we're not